Hello there, good afternoon. News program from the territory, reaching you from the studios of NTA Channel 5, Abuja. The program, as usual, is quite loaded with interesting stories from the territory, as well as for today's edition, we have features of activities from the care, the treatment, and the general welfare of sickle cell patients. We call them the warriors. These and more. Just sit, relax, and enjoy the program. My name is Tessie Mary. The program returns in just a moment. Let's begin from Sunday. Noble Ozonyi has charged Nigerians to remain fervent in their prayers for the nation, noting that it was with immense faith that David faced Goliath and came out victorious. The clergyman who reiterated these in a Sunday sermon said it takes faith, courage, and bravery to withstand the difficult times. He therefore assures the congregation that the country is on its way to breakthrough, considering the progress of development so far by the
any giant that is standing between us, God will take it out for us. Also in our nation, Nigeria.
The cathedral administrator also charged the government to sustain efforts to revamp the nation's economy. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NEC) has approved the sum of 21 billion naira for the 11 electricity distribution companies to provide meters for customers. This is contained in an order released by the NEC on operationalization of Tranche A of the Presidential Metering Initiative under the framework of Meter Acquisition Fund. The Commission says the distribution companies are to buy and install the meters for customers under the Meter Acquisition Fund free of charge. The Commission notes that the Meter Acquisition Fund scheme was developed and approved by the Commission to address the challenge of distribution companies' credit funds of the back of which long-term financing will be secured by the utilities. NEC states that the deployment of funds will accelerate the deployment of meters for all customers currently classified under Tariff Band A for the purpose of revenue protection and facilitating demand side, that is management for the affected customers. Now to health.
Living with sickle cell disease suffer painful crises of different.
I have a lot of crises by the time, and I overcome it by the time. So the experience I have with these sickle cells, I usually feel pains in my joint when the thing will start, and when the crisis starts, like begins. Sometimes my leg, I cannot walk. It will just bend like this, and
sometimes it gives notice. You would have seen some symptoms that something is about happening. Then sometimes it just doesn't give. Sometimes you are just fine and you find out that it just starts like that.
When I'm in pains, this is what I feel. I feel like there's a particular point where I'm feeling pains, and at other times I feel like two people are dragging. Like if it's my hands that I'm having my pains, it feels like one person is dragging it this way, the other person is dragging it the other way. It's painful. That's just what I can say. I don't really have the exact word, but imagine someone hitting you on a hammer with a hammer and another person dragging your hand. That's the most I can. That's the picture that I can paint, but I don't know the exact words to use for it.
A lot of awareness by medical experts, concerned individuals, and technologies by scientists have tried to address and bring sickle cell anemia to an end. But warriors are of the opinion that the only way sickle cell disease can come to an end is knowing your genotype before marriage.
Bone marrow or the stem transplant is not 100%. There are people that have gone through bone marrow and still have traces of sickle cell. Their bone marrow still produces the same gene.
Medical experts still maintain that knowing one's genotype before marriage is the surest way of eradicating the disease and avoiding its spread. Hadiza Godwin Ebuni, NTA.
Many thanks, Hadiza. One can just imagine the picture of pain painted by those sickle cell patients. Well, like Hadiza said, the most important factor is know your genotype, so you would avoid being a carrier of sickle cell. Still talking about this killer disease, World Sickle Cell Day has come and gone, but the impact lessons and information gathered are quite compelling. Hence, Medunama Sickle Cell Foundation is adding its voice by organizing a walk to educate society more about sickle cell disorder. Hadiza Godwin Ebune, again, is standing by.
The walk is aimed at advocating for persons living with sickle cell disease and the public on the disorder and its effects on the society. Founder of Medunama Sickle Cell Foundation, Rabbi Medunama said the foundation will continue its relatively be unknown outside affected communities.
We know we come from a religious and cultural society, so people are still finding it difficult to accept that this is a medical condition. And even the educated ones are taking chances in getting married, and so, but that will not stop us from telling them the truth. And we hope that gradually our vision is to.
Warriors, as persons living with the disorder, are referred to, and their parents spoke on the challenges and calls for more research.
I don't think I can describe the pain. It's a pain that comes from like every part of your body, and you just feel like you have to, endure some pain. When you take pain medications, you won't be able to stop everything at once. But yeah, that's how we cope.
When it's too cold, she'll adjust and everything, and we thank God for her life.
My own genotype was tested AA, and the mother's own was AS. That was before our marriage. How it turned out to be, I didn't understand, but eventually, so with that, it wasn't funny, but of course, we had to adjust to the challenge.
The awareness campaign by Medunama Sickle Cell Foundation had medical interventions like blood donation, genotype tests, and distribution of medication to help warriors, and lots of activities, including exercise, that yours truly participated in. Hadiza Godwin Ebuni, NTA News.
They are indeed warriors, special people. Now, the pains of sickle cell during crisis is better imagined than experienced. It is for this reason and others that an NGO 7-kilometer walk to sensitize Nigerians on care of people living with sickle cell. Moses Kwe has more.
Mrs. Moji Michael, a mother of two, said the NGO Brains and Body Foundation has come to ease off some of our children's medical expenses. First, there was 7 kilometers awareness health walk through the city of Abuja to sensitize and create awareness on the dangers of poor information on genotype blood group.
Know your genotype. That's what we're championing for. That's why we even had the 7-kilometer walk. We were calling for people to know their genotype. We want people to know that they're setting genotypes that are not compatible. And when you have the AS and the AS join together out to just give free medication, we want to educate, we want to raise awareness, we want people to understand the seriousness behind why we're here today.
Drug distribution, genotype testing, and blood donations were part of the activities at the sensitization program.
And this awareness is not just for the carriers, the warriors, it's also for those who are ready to finance such treatment.
During the health fair program, medical experts says the awareness program is timely, especially coming at a time where people living with the sickle cell need more attention as a result of the incessant crisis.
When he was 6 months, the father left, feeling that he cannot cope with 2 sickle cell children, stuff like that. So the only way I'll be him, okay. A lot of 2 became only 1. At that point, the love definitely, yeah, at first the love will shark, we can go ahead and do it. But when the reality of the whole thing comes, the love will definitely evaporate because
about their genotype need to be aware because of the sickle cell anemia. The money you will spend throughout a lifetime, if you had listened during them, the money would have been useful to do something else.
There were health talks with experts advising couples to check their genotype and blood group in order to have healthier children. In Abuja, Moses Kuye, NTA News.
I mean, the awareness can never be too much or can never be enough, so that it will go to every nooks and crannies of the society to know that a stitch in time saves 9. We now take a break. When we return, we have more reports on the territory. To stay with us.
Good evening. Glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me.
Coming to today's edition of the program,
I will celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
On the news at 7.
The latest station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja.
Would say have a lovely day.
Thank you for staying tuned. To promote tourism across Nigeria, especially states that have the potentials, an individual who believes in great accomplishments through his NGO, Tourism Volunteers Network, has successfully embarked on a 1-month trekking exercise across 3 states of the country. His target is to harness tourism potential for socio-economic development of the country. Executive Director of Tourism Volunteer Network, Phil Roberts, spoke to Hawa Gimba upon his arrival to Abuja. Moving on, 23rd of June every year is World Widows Day, a day set aside to recognize and cater for widows in society. However, these special people are said to be neglected, with some cultures known to be infringing on their rights and privileges of widows. Moses Kuye takes us through in this report. That report too is not ready at the moment. We now take you to farming. There are high expectations and hopes from farmers every year for a bumper harvest as the cropping season sets in. But what are the implications of consistent and high volume of rain during the planting season? Yours truly went to some farming communities in Nyanya, Amak, and some boundary towns of the FCT. Here's the report. The rains are here again, and farmers are busy planting and, of course, clearing the fields in anticipation of a bumper harvest as they contribute in achieving food security in the country. It's few weeks into the raining season in most parts of the north-central region, including Abuja, as the frequency of downpour increases. With excitement, this family and other farmers are busy clearing the land and planting crops like maize, groundnut, among others, considered as early crops for the season.
As you see me here, I've not been farming. I'm a civil servant, but because of the challenges in Nigeria today, that is why I said, let me come and farm.
Although Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, predicts that this year's rainy season, which starts late, will be brief, hence the need for farmers to be aware of the weather pattern and maximize food production.
The growing season is going to be short in all parts of all the state of the country, with the exception of 3, that is Akwa Ibom, Rivers, and Cross River. That being the case, then it means you can say that out of the 37 states, which is 36 plus FCT, the prediction is showing that the length of the growing season is going to be short.
You have to study your environment.
Is it a swampy area? You have to know. Is it a place where you can plant rice or cocoyam, sugarcane, plantain, bananas? All this, you have to study your environment, know the nature of the soil you have within your community.
While in most parts of the north, farmers are clearing their lands and planting crops, but adherence to weather advisory by farmers will go a long way to reduce losses and ensure bumper harvest. Clearing and planting in progress in most of the farms visited, with prospects of harvest in few months' time. So I hope to be back during the bumper harvest as these farmers smile to the bank. In Abuja, Tessie Omeri. I hope to be back to bring you more from that farming expedition. Moving on, let's talk security. In response to the tragic and unprecedented attack at Sunshine Homes Estate by armed robbers, resulting in the untimely demise of one Brigadier General Uwem Harold Udokwere on June 22, 2024 at approximately 3 a.m., the Commissioner of Police FCT, Benneth Igwe, has promptly ordered a thorough and discreet investigation into the circumstances surrounding this regrettable event. Expressing profound condolences to the bereaved family, CP Benneth Igwe assures the family and the public of swift justice, with every effort in conduct to ensure the perpetrators of the atrocious act are apprehended and brought to justice. Furthermore, the Commissioner of Police reaffirmed the nation's capital by continually adopting strategies to effectively combat evolving criminal activities. Updates on this matter will be provided in due course. One, 2, and 3 have commenced joint safe and habitable measures and safeguard lives and property. Sandra Akeme visited the communities and reports that there are also...
The need for basic social amenities in a community cannot be overemphasized. This is the case of Paduma, with more than 300,000 population and located just behind Asokoro in the Abuja Municipal Area Council. These communities decry lack of basic social amenities, one of which is security, even though a police outpost was sighted in one of the communities.
Try, but the problem is that we need governments, other AMAC chairman or minister, to assist this community with volunteer people, because peace is near.
These communities are restricted or
support the vigilante people for this community, and then sometimes that when something happen before police come, we are the one that they give them alert, see what in they gone for this community. And then for empowerment, we will not have a vehicle, we will not have a motorcycle. Even the vigilante office, we are the one that will task ourselves and building.
My appeal to the FCT minister and also the federal government as well, they should try at least to make provision of whether police station or outpost for the community, so that any time, if they cannot do so, at least they should provide security around us, so that any time if anything is happening, we know that they are there, we will not be scared.
Security, they say, is everyone's business, and all hands must be on deck to tackle this challenge. From the territory, Sandra Akeme, NTA News.